You're now listening to episode 89 of Signed In, an Xbox 360 podcast. Recorded on March 12th, 2012. Find us online at signedinpodcast.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Signed In. I am Jeremy Superpro 33.
I'm Craig Brockdresser.
And I'm Sean Shonix.
How is everybody doing?
Doing all right.
Not too bad.
You
Not
don't
too
sound so
shabby.
good.
This has been a rough week.
Yeah.
We'll just put it right there. It's just, yeah.
Oh, and
It's just been a rough week.
full disclosure, we are recording early.
Yes.
That's right.
So there's only actually been a week, a little over a week since our last episode. But by the time you're hearing this, I'll be out of the country, so.
Finally.
Continuing the Signed In World Tour of 2012. Craig, you covered Brazil. I covered Mexico, and now I'll be.
I thought this was connected to your shadowy dealings last year.
We can't talk about
Last
that.
fall. I'm sorry.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm blowing
This
your
has to
cover.
go out to people. No, I will be in Europe, Belgium to be specific. So, hey, dude in Belgium that listens to our show, and I know you do because I see the downloads. Hook me up. Let's
Waffle
do some
time.
stuff. Let's get together.
Waffles.
This one's for you, buddy.
All waffles all the time. Isn't that what Belgium's known for?
Belgian waffles. Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
think they do call them that.
Precisely. Mm-hmm.
I don't
chocolate,
know the globe.
French fries.
You don't know the globe.
French fries were
It's
invented
a
in
round
Belgium.
thing. It looks like the world.
No, they weren't.
They were.
Awesome. I
What
like
do you do
Belgium now.
about
I want to go.
You can't.
I want to go
The
under
arrangements
carry-on.
have already been made.
Carry-on.
No,
Pack me in a big suitcase.
it's not happening.
All right.
So I will
You
be
could
there.
a stowaway like Spritle on Speed Racer.
Yeah.
We're
You can
already
hide in the trunk with a monkey.
we're already
I'd
taking a
love to
monkey.
hide in a trunk with a monkey.
We already got the monkey secured, so there's no further
It's on my
room.
bucket list. I'm not kidding. In an old, I want an old trunk that
Yeah,
has all the,
steamer trunk,
with all the stickers where it's been, and it's just me and a monkey hanging out. And
I have
just
to
hit the
tell
lighter,
you
and
that no matter
feeds
what
me a
monkey you
banana.
pick, that's probably not on their bucket list to be in a trunk with Sean Wedding.
Well, we'll find that monkey.
That one
I
monkey.
will find him.
No, but anyway, I am enjoying my 15-year anniversary right now in
yes.
Europe. So there you go.
You're
So
in Europe right now?
I am, as we're speaking.
Well, it is spring break for
To the
me.
people at home, they know. Oh yeah, you're on break. So
What?
I don't know.
And I get to work? You guys suck.
I guess.
You gotta cut. Someone's gotta.
I guess. Yeah.
How do you think we're supposed to do
You
this?
got a good point. That's right.
It's got to get funded somehow.
You are our sugar daddy. Come on.
Give everybody diabetes.
That's code for something. And I believe it involves oral sex.
I think it's
Wait.
a code for we've gone really off the rails this time.
All right, Jesus. Let's talk about. We do have some games though, even though it's only been a week.
Amazing.
It's been a busy week, game wise, because Mass Effect 3 came out, and that's what I've been doing. So I guess games, the plural, I shouldn't have added on there. But I have.
We do have a few indie games to talk
yeah.
about.
Surprisingly, we got more than I thought. So
And the only XBLA game that came out in the meantime was I Am Alive, and Sean and I, you both are ready to talk about that.
I got to play that.
Excellent. And so you've got Mass Effect 3. I purchased Asura's Wrath. Actually,
nice. I want to hear about that.
yes.
too.
So we talked about the demo a couple episodes ago.
That's right. And the game is
it nuts?
Yes,
Yay!
it's all nuts all the time.
I love nuts
Soundbite.
and diabetes.
I'm
Sean.
gonna bring Space Command finally to the table.
Oh,
I
good.
kind of hinted
Finally.
it last episode.
Been a long 2 weeks.
But yeah, a couple indie games. I got to play some Tiger Woods and some Mass Effect 3.
Awesome.
Tiger Woods.
I don't want to hear about the
demo,
Tiger
right?
Woods.
Yeah, it was a demo. PGA 13 or something. Some kind of name. It
Don't sweat the details.
It had a Kinect on it. That's why I tried it out. So
Excellent.
yeah,
You got quality standards.
yeah, I do.
Hey,
It's on Connect. I'm in. All right. Well, then, should we jump into some games?
let's do it.
Indie.
All right.
Who wants to lead it?
Well,
Not me.
I'll
I got
kick
one.
it off with Space Command because
Oh, yeah.
I promised it last episode. This sold for 80 points. It was from Jason Keterling. And like I said last time, it was Space Invaders meets Missile Command, and I played it, and it is. And I have a lot of fun with it. It's 80 points. It's just, I mean, you just continue to play it. It's a little bit hard, though.
Is it?
Because you got to
I
wait
wondered.
for the missiles to hit, and so you got to time them right, and you only get a certain amount to shoot at once.
Okay.
And as they're coming down, they're shooting your little your
Bases.
bases, and I liked it. I thought it was really simple, a lot of fun. It is 80 points, but it pulled at my.
Do they have any sort of music, or is it all sound effects?
It's just mostly just that old school.
Yeah.
I mean, it's totally old school. It has that vibe, and I had a lot of fun with it. And if that's something up your alley, if you like both of them, 80 points. I didn't buy it, but it's fun to play. So
cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
I will take a look.
I played a game called Cell Emergence, which sold for 400 Microsoft points from New Life Interactive LLC. I don't know what LLC stands for, but it sounded very important.
Yes.
And they also had a lot of people associated with them because it was like half of the 4-minute demo just to get into the damn game.
Nice.
No, but this is a game, I think I read about it on Joystick a while back or something, and I was trying to keep an eye out for it. And it's kind of interesting. So basically, like you control these nanomachines, and what they're trying to do is basically defend the body against these pathogens and germs that are kind of infecting the body and trying to kill this boy or whatever. But the whole thing is done in like this 3D with like 3D pixels, voxels, I believe is what they're called. And so it's kind of cool. I mean, it's got a really nice design. It's got kind of a retro. It's kind of got that modern future retro feel for games, when they do the pixelated stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's got some nice music in the background. I gotta admit, it took me a while to figure out what I was doing at the beginning, because you start off in this first level and like this kid's having the attack, and then all of a sudden you zoom in to the area, and it mentions like shooting the membrane. There's like this vein or whatever, and then there's like this cluster in there. And it mentions shooting membrane, but I didn't quite understand what things were saying. And so then I was shooting, because you can shoot like this protective gel or whatever. And I was shooting at the big ball in the center, which looked ominous. and I was doing that, and then all of a sudden it would shrink and shrink and shrink. I'm like, oh, I'm winning. And I'm like, that's not incredibly exciting, but I'm winning. And then all of a sudden, like, these tendrils like start shooting out in lots of different directions and like taking over like everything, and I'm like, oh, it's going out of control. Oh boy,
I'm not winning.
Yeah, I'm losing fast, and then I die or I lose, and I was like, what the hell was I supposed to do? And then right now the game has like 3-star ratings, a 3-star rating on it, and I think part of that might be because it's a little hard to get into at that first point, like me, like, because that was not a very good first experience, but I persevered. I tried it again, and I was paying attention. I'm like, wait, they're suggesting I shoot the membrane, and so I'm like, well, maybe I think that thing in the center is not a membrane, so let me try shooting, because it's in this tube. Let me try shooting the tube, and then when I was shooting it, you could it was subtle, but you could see like these little hopping things like all across the membrane, and so I was spreading like these antibodies all across it, and so then I just like littered that, and then it also had a little message that quick flipped up and said, caution, your gel will also accelerate the growth of pathogens, and I'm like, oh, well, that's fucking why I died, because I was just loading that fucker up with that shit, and so then I sprayed, then I got all the membrane, and it started growing out on its own. And it was great because like these tendrils came out and they hit the membrane, and then all of a sudden they just started to dissolve back on themselves. I'm like, yeah. But then it started, the pathogens were growing more rapidly, and so I had to cut. Basically, I was running around and like cutting off tendrils, and then there would still be these masses kind of left in places, and I'd have to clear those out while the antibodies were basically holding off a lot of the growth. And so then there was another level. I didn't get to finish the level, so I'm not exactly sure what it was, but it was saying, we need to observe this because apparently, there's these germs and we can't directly combat them, but we need to observe and kind of report what you find from that. And so I was watching this area, and these little red germs would float down, and sometimes they would hit, and after a second or two, then they'd start to infect, and I'd have to clear out the infection. But
this game sounds gross.
But it's all done in pixels. It doesn't look gross at all.
It looks gross in my head right now. It looks disgusting.
With words like membrane and
no, I understand.
Tendrils.
But no, it's all very
infection,
clean, voxelated.
This game sounds like it smells.
But it was kind of cool.
Terrible.
It was very cool actually. And but it does take a little patience to get into it, and you kind of have to figure those things out. I'm guessing a lot of people tried it out were like, I don't know what the fuck is going on at the beginning, and slammed it with a rating. But it seems pretty high quality.
Cool.
So,
cool.
It sounds pretty in depth.
I definitely, exactly. And I was intrigued to try out more. It is kind of a slow getting into there, and the level runs a little long. So, like I said, I didn't even get to finish level 2 before the time ran out.
Yeah.
But I do recommend trying it out.
Cool.
Nice.
I took a look at Redshift.
Yes, I played this too.
Which is your
80 points.
It is 80 points. It comes from Daniel
Agwiski.
You took it better than I could, probably. So we're
I
gonna
always
go with
take
that.
it better than you can.
You sure do, buddy. I don't even know where we're going with that.
I
one.
give it better than anybody.
Diabetes.
And we're back.
Yeah, I assume you don't have like a rim shot sound effect, so I had to make my own. All right,
Oh, is that what that was? I thought you were breaking bottles on the table there.
Redshift. Redshift is a bullet hell game.
Yeah.
It is procedurally done, so all the it's 500 procedurally generated levels. So
Right.
they're always going to be different.
always different.
It's always random. The bosses that you get are the enemies that you get. And it's a bullet hell game, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Did you?
I liked it a lot.
I had a hard time getting into it.
Did you?
But talk. Tell me your impressions.
It's
about
pretty
it.
basic.
Yeah.
I think maybe I would have liked more variety from the enemies. What I saw so far at
Sure.
the beginning was pretty much like 3 different kinds of ships that you would ever see.
Right.
You're basically scrolling from the bottom up. So ships are coming down from the top, and you're shooting at them, and they're of course raining bullet hell upon you.
Yeah.
Everything's in this glowy red. Everything's the same color. So
Yeah.
it's this neon-y red.
Right.
Which adds to that difficulty level, obviously, of trying to avoid everything that looks the same, and they kind of
Yeah,
match
right.
your ship.
Right.
It is another thing where your ship, only the center of the ship can be hit. I think there was a couple
Correct.
of those older games that we played that were kind of like that.
Score rush.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
So you can let bullets hit your ship or get through there, but it's the center of your ship that
Right.
that avoids it. You have 2 different shooting styles. There's like a spread shot that you do that is a little weaker, and then with the B button, that's with your A, I believe.
Yeah, I think.
And then
so.
with the
That
B
sounds
button,
right.
it's a more focused shot, so it's a little more
Right.
streamlined.
But the
and
focus shot also slows you down.
it does make you go slower, right? So it's a little harder to avoid some of the.
Ooh, yes and no. It allows you to do more precise movements.
That's true. That's true. You can look at it that way as well. There's also a bomb attack that you have.
Right.
And what I really like about that is it basically just sets this huge fireball
Yeah.
up the center of the screen or from wherever you shoot it. That probably takes up, a good 2/3 of the screen?
Yeah, if
Maybe?
not more. Yeah.
And it also takes out the bullets.
Right.
So it melts all that stuff away and kills all the enemies that are in its path. And that uses up a little meter that's on your side. That meter also is your slowdown mechanic that you have in the game,
Right.
which I loved
Yeah.
about the game. And I don't know, are there other bullet hell games that have that slowdown
I'm sure
mechanic?
somebody's got it, but
I don't
it's
remember
not-
playing anything.
It's not super common.
Yeah, so I really liked that. And so you hit the bumper button, and it basically slows down the action that's on the screen, and it allows for you to maneuver between, the
That's
bullets.
awesome, yeah.
So timing it became a lot of fun for me, where I would you let up on it, you get a big wave coming at you, you hit it for a little bit. And what I think maybe what I liked about it the most is that usually with those kind of mechanics in a game, it's such a limited amount that you get.
Sure,
It
yeah.
felt like there was a ton there.
Well, it recharges too.
It does recharge, but also when it was when you had the full meter,
Yeah.
it lasted a long
does
time.
last a while,
and I liked that because
Yeah.
I was never in a situation. You do get crazy ass bullets coming at you.
Crazy ass bullets.
So, you
Wait, did I emphasize that wrong?
might have, but it's open to interpretation. That's fine.
It's like the bullets from Roger Rabbit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
See?
they're crazy.
So,
Ass bullets.
there are times I don't even remember what I was going to say now. So, we'll go with that.
Pumps.
Ass bullets. That's right.
Ass bullets.
I'm used
There
to
are a
guys-
lot. It's a screen full of bullets, and you're slowing down time,
Yeah, I don't remember.
and so you can dodge them all and feel like a hero,
I think that's it.
feel like a champ.
No, I think that
sounds like you.
There are times where slowing it down made a huge difference,
Right.
Yeah.
and and it even made me a little better when I wasn't slowing time down, because you kind of when slowing it down, you get to see the pattern of how some of the bullets are.
Right,
So then the next time you don't need to necessarily slow it down
Yeah.
because you know this pattern.
Nice.
Like the end boss that I was fighting in the first level has 3 different stages.
Yeah.
Well, I think in those stages they're pretty much doing the same attacks repeatedly, or the same cycle. So the first couple of times I went through and slowed it down, I kind of knew where I needed to just edge over to or
Yeah.
move over to, and you kind of could learn the pattern without having to then use the slowdown, which is really handy.
That's cool.
So I enjoyed it quite a bit.
I thought it was good. I think I just got spoiled on Score Rush in
Yeah.
particular because
Score
with Score Rush,
It is a good game.
with Score Rush you could point in lots of directions, and so with this one it's just the straightforward shooting.
Yes.
And so I'm guessing that's why they have the narrow band in the middle of the screen. I'm not a big fan of the narrow banded arcade style games.
Like limiting where you can go.
Yeah, well,
Oh.
and not using the entire screen
Yeah,
for,
right,
for
the whole-
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, that and the everything red just really kind of wore on my brain. I'm afraid if I play it for a while, I'm gonna like stop playing and turn around and everything will be green. It's a lot of red. I don't know. I understand it might be there for the challenge and all of that, but it's just not very visually interesting for me.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything different, really.
Yeah.
It's just that same look. I did enjoy it though. I liked it quite a bit. I like the slowdown
I thought the
mechanic a lot.
I thought the mechanics were great. I thought
the
played
gameplay
really
itself
well.
was really awesome.
It was just stylistically, it wasn't for me. But
Nice. That's cool though.
Yes.
Score Rush.
80 points. Check it out.
80 points. Speaking of 80 points, Beat Hazard.
Beat
Now,
Hazard.
or isn't Beat Hazard that old game? Is now
Yeah.
80 points.
Was it more than that before? I don't remember.
It was 240
I know
before.
it was
a long time ago.
Dropped down,
Yeah, it was 240
Oh, wow.
before, and that's a really, really good game. So anyone that's
hear-
late to the party, get on that party train. I don't know.
The Beat Hazard. I don't want to get on any train that's got a hazard in the title. Just so you know.
All right. Well, you don't have to. But I had another.
Unless it's the Dukes are in charge.
There you go.
Then I'm on that train.
Hazard County train.
Not the other, not Bo and Luke only, not those two other guys that filled in the role, right?
No.
I don't even remember their names, like Lance and Jethro or
Shemp
something.
and Curly Joe.
It was Shemp.
Shemp
Hazard.
Shemp.
That was the coolest name ever. But speaking of Shemp
They
Hazard,
mostly fought Boss Hog with pies.
They would drive over with General Lee and like throw pies at him.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't do any stunts or jump over anything. They drove quite respectably, actually.
They just threw pies from the windows.
awesome. Those Hazard boys. But back to
Always beating each other up.
back to the indie marketplace here.
Yes.
I tried out Paper RPG.
Yes, as did I.
I haven't bought it. It's 80 points.
Team Shuriken.
Shuriken. You stole it from me. But
I set it up for you.
Oh, you did. You're right.
It's a team effort.
But so it's 80 points,
Team Shuriken effort.
and it's a good like hand drawn.
Yeah, I really liked the visual style.
Yeah, it's almost like it got a platformer view to it, but it's a choose your own adventure type of thing.
Kind of.
Because like you can pick your paths. Like they have like an A or B, and then you can go left or I mean right, and or go down a ladder.
Yeah.
And then some of them, like you'll find a mermaid, and then the game's over because you fall in love forever.
Yeah.
Or another one is like if you pick the wrong move when you're fighting a guy, like either you can jump over him, slide over him, run past him. If you miss, then the game's over. And I really got a kick out of just that aspect of
What I was
game.
reminded of was like Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Those games basically where although you have a full idea of what your options are because it specifically tells you.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was I guess it was to save on animation because there's no
visual.
there's no animation.
Yeah.
It's so as you're walking along, you just press a button. It's like B for right.
Yeah.
And then it fades out and fades back in with your character now moved to a slightly different position. It's the constant fading out and fading in. I think that was kind of getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Just it didn't feel like a good pace for me. I liked the interaction stuff. That was kind of cool. But yeah,
I like the look. I like the
I definitely liked the art style.
The art style I really enjoyed. My only nitpick was the red boxes. Like you'd come up to something, and it was a red box that would then
you
turn
could see
in
this outline, and that's where you're going to come into contact with something.
Either it would be a monster, or it'd be like a door or something like that. That was my only little nitpick to it because I thought the game was really neat in that it really looks hand drawn. I mean, and it's just the style and the little guy, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm totally got to buy it, and I'm gonna play it through because I want to see the end to it.
Nice.
But it seems like it might be a little on the short side, maybe. But plus,
it's definitely finite.
Yeah, and the fact.
No, I don't know. I went in a door and it was offering to go into like another dungeon. That's when they asked me to purchase the game. Or whatever. So.
And then you open that door and it's like game over.
Yeah,
You made it to the dungeon.
you won.
dungeon winner.
If I ever made a game, that's how I'd do it. It would go on for literally
Buy the
10
game
seconds.
to find out how this ends.
Literally. Did you not get your ending? What is your complaint? No refunds.
But it totally worth checking out. I liked it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's it for me on Indie.
Yeah,
is that it for everybody?
I think so.
We're cashed,
Awesome.
Johnny.
XBLA.
Let's do it. As we said before, I Am Alive. Another part of the house party.
House party.
party?
That's what it was.
It's over now, right? That's the last one, I think.
Is it the last one?
I think so.
Oh man,
Isn't that only 3?
No, we missed one that I never checked out, which is the one that came out the last week.
Nextwiz,
the looked like
shooter.
Yeah, I thought it was.
And I didn't even look at
that
it.
was a Halo thing
I know.
because the guy was weird looking. I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't even try it out, so
I downloaded it. I wrote it up.
Oh,
Thanks.
I got to. It's a quota.
I Am Alive.
It's a
comes
quota
from
for the show.
Ubisoft. It
Yes.
sells for 1,200 Microsoft points. And so basically, it's kind of a survival game.
Yeah.
It'd be the best survival action platformer, almost kind of a puzzle game.
Don't get
in
tired.
some ways. Yeah, so some event happens to the world or the U.S. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember if it extended past the U.S., but this dude was trapped on the East Coast and his family was on the West Coast, and so he spent a year walking across the U.S., and he's finally made it back to his hometown, and so he's going to try to find his family, because they're totally there after a year. And
He walked through the nougaty center of the United States.
He sure did.
The Midwest.
Yes.
The Middle West.
The Middle West.
The Middle West. And
No, he's sure that his wife and kid.
oh
are
yeah,
still
no,
alive.
he's
Positive?
positive about
Yep.
it. Yep. And
Smoke signals.
so the game has several primary elements. You're kind of walking around and filling in this map, but the map, at least in the demo, because I only played the demo so far. But with the map, the way that it fills out, there's pretty much just one way to go, with like maybe a small path to go pick up like a can of food or something on the side. So it's a little less about exploring and just kind of like following the trail. But then there's also basically elements where you have to climb around to make it to places, and this is where Sean, you were mentioning, don't get tired.
Don't get tired, because that's the big thing. Because you have like stamina meter.
Yeah.
So you can walk through everything or run, and that will take some of your stamina down. But then it will add back up.
It does recover really quickly.
It does. And then you climb things. And
that's
then,
where it's really most important.
Yeah, and then like if your stamina and you get down, it feels like a big trial and error game at the very beginning, like when you're first picking your path.
That's kind of what felt like a puzzle game to me in some ways, because you have a stamina meter, and once it gets down, then you're going to fall. Now, you can spam the right trigger to kind of push yourself a little further, but that's going to be finite as well.
Yeah.
So if you were spending a lot of time kind of going in the wrong direction and you kind of have to backtrack or anything like that, then you're going to get screwed. And so that's kind of what feels like a puzzle to me.
Yeah.
You have to figure out the correct path to go. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Yeah, I fell to my doom a couple different times, but
I never fell, but I sure put a strain on my stamina meter, because then you have to take food to recover that. Because if you spam the right trigger button, then your maximum stamina reduces.
yeah.
But
I enjoyed the look of it. It had a gritty look to it, and at first it kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I think more of like the cutscenes at the very beginning, it just didn't like. I was like, it's gonna be like, what was that, Battlefield Los Angeles game?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
And it just like,
So how does it operate? Is it like a platformer then?
no, it's like almost like you're
Well, there's a third part that we haven't talked about yet.
yeah, it's just it's a lot like an action adventure game, kind of almost like
The third part is basically interacting with everybody else who's surviving in this world, who are all paranoid as fuck.
yeah.
Well, wouldn't you be?
Well, and see, here's the thing. So I've heard people kind of calling it survival horror, because it does kind of have that keep track of your resources feel to it. But whereas it's like, I gotta hold out till I find my next box of bullets in like Resident Evil. In this game, it's like I have one bullet and I have to get through this part of the city.
Yeah.
And so,
So are you fighting enemies and stuff too?
there are enemies. You do get like a machete as well.
Okay.
But there are gangs, and so you can completely be outnumbered, completely be outgunned. And so you have to, again, this is kind of a puzzly element, because you have to figure out the best way in order to get past particular areas.
yeah.
And I encountered that a lot in the main confrontation that you have in the demo.
See, I don't know if I got to that part yet.
Well, it's the
fell a
part
lot.
where it's the part where they teach you how to do the machete quick kill, because you can kind of bluff people, and so once they get closer to them, then you can do like a machete quick kill. You can also hold your gun at people, and that will kind of freak them out. And it teaches you to back them up to pits and then kick them in instead of wasting.
And you're wondering why everybody's fucking paranoid.
Exactly.
You're like, hey, come on, I'm my buddy, and then you stab him in the face with a machete.
Did I mention when I kicked that dude in the pit, I had no bullets in my gun. I was just trying to freak him out with it.
See?
And then
No wonder everybody's paranoid.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, hey, can you help me out? It's like, was there a pit around? Because I don't want you to like, I'll look at that map with you, but I don't want you to kick me into something.
Well, he was attacking me with a machete to
okay.
begin with. That's how you got your machete.
Okay, that's defendable then.
Justified.
Well, and I think you can play it as a cruel son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of play it as a bit of a savior, because apparently you'll come across, because I looked at the achievements, and some of the achievements for saving people and all that, and you come across in the demo like this woman with her son who's been stabbed, and you can offer them your first aid kit that you found, or you can just keep it like a dick and walk off.
Word.
And so... but you do have to be somewhat violent. Basically, it's a violent world. You can't not be a passive. I'm sorry, you can't be a pacifist. And so, but I found that encountering people is a little more puzzle-like. It's not like you have a lot of leeway into how you should do things, because there's a big confrontation here. Sorry, spoiler, Sean.
No, that's fine.
In the demo, where it's like it's where you get confronted by two dudes. One has a gun and the other guy has a machete or whatever, and so you got one bullet, and so the game suggests that you just kind of not do anything, and if you don't do anything and kind of back up a little bit, your dude will put up his hands, and so you let them get close, and then that's when it teaches you to press X to do the quick kill. So then you do that, and then you're supposed to quickly pull out your gun to hold it on the other dude, so he'll be like, "Oh, don't shoot me," and then you whack him with your gun to knock him out. But then two dudes fucking bust through this fence and come running straight at you, and so I was trying to do some different things. I'm like, well, at first, I was trying to do some quick kills when they got up, but that didn't work because they're just running at you too quickly. And then I'm like, well, maybe I could just fucking run for it, and save my bullet. I didn't want to spend my bullet, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then
My bullet.
I named it.
It's a special bullet. Not Randall.
And so I ran off, and then
Crazy ass bullet.
there was a locked up gate, and I'm like, well, shit, and I'm trying to break the gate with the machete, but then they come up and they're hacking me with their machetes, and so that doesn't work. And so then I basically had to figure it out, and then one dude's running at me, and I pull the gun, and he continues running at me, so then I have to shoot him, and then the other guy stops. And then I kind of hold him off. But then there was a problem, because I would try to walk up to knock him out like I did the other guy. And then I'd lower my gun to do the knockout, and then he'd come at me again. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Stay there.
I still have this gun.
But there are also like just regular people, like not crazies who are deliberately attacking you. There's people who are just kind of living in areas, and then you fucking come along and they're like, what the fuck you doing? And so then, you can choose to attack them if you want. Or like me, you're just like, don't mind me. I'm just walking through, and I'll just back away and kind of move as slowly as I can across from them, and then they'll shout something after you. That's right, or something like that.
And then you come back and stab them with their machete.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
when
right.
They're sleeping. Yeah.
I like that aspect to it, though.
Yeah,
It's a
I did
neat
too.
Neat little theme.
And it is a really cool environment. It's really gray though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's there's a specific purpose why they went with everything being gray, but it's kind of like the Redshift, where it's like so predominant that it's almost visually uninteresting.
So monochrome at that point.
Yeah,
It's all the same.
I mean, there are games like Limbo, which go with the black but that's highly stylized, whereas this is more detailed, realistic.
Yeah.
And so they have slightly different effects.
It's just washed out at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I'm on the fence about it. I really like the concept. I found some of the trial and error to be a little frustrating.
Yeah.
You only have like 3 continues or something, and if you're playing on a more difficult mode, then you don't really have. Although you can gain continues by helping people.
That's nice.
Yeah, there are some really neat aspects to the game. I like the concept a lot. I wasn't quite sure if I was having fun when I was playing it, and so I'm going to come back to it and try it again later.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try
I've
it
only
some more.
seen some talk about it on like Twitter and stuff. I didn't check it out, the game, because I just don't have the
I think you should. I mean, it's definitely an intriguing game.
I will. I know. Well, that's we were talking before the show. I ran out of disk space.
Well, you
so
know,
I
you
didn't
can
have
delete things and re-download them.
I told
Don't
you
you
already.
have another Xbox?
Shut up. I do.
Don't you have?
Oh yeah.
I'm saying you
I
can
could buy
download
you-
things that you
I got
haven't
a flash
finished,
drive
and you can
for you.
re-download them later to play them.
I know. I went through and deleted a ton of stuff so I could burn Mass Effect onto my hard drive, and it took up 7.6 gig.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't have the one.
How many gigs do you have on your hard drive?
I don't know. It's like 60.
Okay, that's not so bad. I thought you had one of the 120.
Oh no, I wish.
Okay.
It would still be full.
Yeah. You'd still have the
Sean
problem.
makes the best case for my idiocy, and that is the fact that I have a second Xbox downstairs that I could have probably downloaded and checked out the game on that one and not have to worry about anything.
Good point.
But I'm a retard, so
Well, we all are.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I will check it out
Yeah.
at some point.
I don't know if I what I've played of it is just not enough to pull me into that 1200
It didn't sell me, but also I was thinking about deleting it. I'm like, I think I want to hold on to it for a little while longer.
Yeah, and I went in thinking this was just going to be like, oh, great, another one of these games. But I was enjoying it, but I need to learn how to not.
It does a lot of unique.
Look around.
It
when
does
I'm
a lot
climbing.
of unique things. Yeah, don't do that.
Know a path and stick to it.
Yeah, basically.
If you're climbing.
Yeah.
Well, don't worry. In like 3 weeks, they'll lower down to 800 points anyway, so you're good.
Hey, that'd be cool.
That's what they do with all XBLA now, right?
I'd jump on that.
Discount them within 3 weeks. I'm not a hater. I'm just saying, don't buy things right away all the time, because sometimes they lower that shit.
Oh yeah, that's why you do this.
What?
That's why you can't download it. Right?
Yeah. No, that's not why. I'm not making an excuse for myself. I'm saying for you, looking out for you.
Oh,
Come back to it in 3 weeks when they lowered the price on it.
$10, I'd buy it.
Or buy it now, and then they'll lower it just as like Murphy's Law kind of thing.
It usually happens that way.
So you buy it.
I don't mind.
They'll lower it, and then I'll buy it for 800 points.
I don't mind paying good money for something that I enjoy,
I know you don't.
because then the people get the money and they can make more things
It's a good theory.
that I enjoy.
Or they go out of business.
But at least they have enough money to pay their employees,
To pay their
because
bankruptcy fees.
you can go out of business and not be able to pay your employees.
That's true. That's more of a comic business kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, guys. Snap. All right.
Demo.
What, do we have any more XBLA?
No, this is the only thing
That
that
was
came out.
it?
That was
Okay.
it.
I just didn't know if we had anything else to touch on.
no.
Just
Old
checking.
stuff. I don't think so.
Okay. Did you see the new pinball tables that are coming?
Poonball.
What were you going to say?
Poonballs. Poonball tables?
Poonball table. It's an Annie table Punjab.
No.
Poonball.
Punjab from Andy.
Punjab.
Whatever.
Let's stop with the poon.
The new pinball FX tables. The
No.
new Marvel pack that's coming. I don't know when.
I stay away from the
But they're
interwebs.
all like event tables. So there's an Infinity Gauntlet, Fear Itself, World of War. Is that what's the
World at
Hulk?
War?
No, the
Oh,
World
World
of
War
War
Hulk.
World
yeah.
War Hulk. That's it. And then they're doing an Avengers themed one for the
F
movie,
that.
obviously.
Uh,
But then they mentioned
Inferno.
there's a Civil War one coming up.
Nobody remembers Inferno.
Because they're idiots.
I was thinking about Inferno, but then they just did that X-Men one, so maybe that'd be too soon.
Whatever.
They could have done that one as an Inferno.
I'm done.
though.
I'm not buying any
That
more
would've been
FX
awesome.
tables. I'm done.
Okay,
because they won't make Inferno.
Cut.
I can't wait for that episode when they come out.
Yeah, I know. Oh, totally get them. Event tables? Are you kidding me?
I know, isn't it awesome?
I mean, it's
Infinity
like,
Gauntlet?
I know,
That's gonna be
whatever.
awesome.
It's right
Anyway,
up my
The
alley.
problem is you have to buy 12 pinball tables in order to get the whole story.
That's right. In the true Marvel fashion.
No, when you get
Carry over.
like if you ever like mastered the table, it would just lead to another table.
There's going to be some spin-off tables. They're going to try bringing back a few characters on tables as well.
Oh,
hopefully a-
stilt man table.
Hopefully a good Iron Man table will spin out of the Civil War one instead of the shit one we have
I agree
now.
with that. Hell yeah.
And did you guys see? It was just announced today, I think, about the XBLA
Probably not.
going up to 400 points.
Oh, I did see.
Yeah.
Or for
for the XBLA games, standard
gamer score.
gamer score.
Not
Yes, correct.
Microsoft points.
No, I'm sorry. Gamer score points.
I was trying to get the word out, but I couldn't think of it.
and I kept trying to interrupt you.
And up to 40 achievements instead of their 20.
Was it 32 or something like that?
32. I
I
don't
thought
know.
it was some odd number. I don't know. Regardless,
Yeah.
that's happening. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
More points.
More points.
But I wonder if
It
there's going
just
to be
goes towards
anything.
my no points.
It'd be nice if they did that, and then
Ruins your ratio faster.
it'd be nice if they did that, and then gave the 200 to indie games
Yeah,
and
no.
let them do achievements. That'd
Nice.
be good for the indie marketplace.
Yeah, that would be.
Anyway, so
would turn it
I just saw it
around.
today. So
Yeah.
all right, let's talk about your demo.
Demo. The
Oh wait, it's golf.
It's Kinect, though.
I agree.
Oh,
I saw the Kinect on it, and so Tiger Woods PGA Tour number This is the 13th. Or no, wait, it's for 2013. There we go.
there you go. The 13th game.
I suck at golf games. But why I wanted to
Your
check
reading
this one?
skills, wasn't that the problem there?
Both.
Sheesh.
Just want to let you pick up chicks.
Oh,
Oh, zing.
just hot ones.
No, this is the one that kind of is like you can play as Tiger Woods throughout his life, right?
You can play as a little kid.
Play as little kid
Yeah,
Tiger
you
Woods.
can play as little.
I can't
little-
wait to get to the
little
sexting
Wood.
stage.
It's the Tiger Woods simulator.
You get to play as Littlewood. Yeah. I
Should
did
be an
not.
RPG, and you can make life decisions.
I didn't go that route. I wanted to try how the connectability worked with it.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like really pumped for it because that was the golf game that they had for season 2 of Kinect Sports. I really enjoyed. I thought it was a really fun way to play. And it worked. It felt like you were playing golf.
Okay.
In a sense, you know, your stance.
You were thoroughly bored.
I had a
Yes,
problem.
I was. I don't have to go to the ball. It makes it that much
I had
better.
a problem with the Kinect Sports one, registration wise, like as far as like it registering us and like turning and like swinging. It was like weird. I don't know what it was.
And
It
I'm
might have just been
sorry.
my Kinect.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I really liked that aspect of it, and I played a lot of the golf for season 2. So when I saw the Tiger Woods, I was gonna ignore it, and then I saw that it was Kinect available or ability or jobby do
Enabled.
There it is. You're the controller, but
That's what I heard.
so your stance,
control. You are.
your stance is you're facing the TV. And that's you put your hands down to do. You're not sideways.
You don't turn to the side?
No.
That's terrible.
And
That'll make it hard.
the connectability, like
Plus, it looks like you're holding your wang.
there it is.
Did you try holding your wang?
I did, and I got a hole in one. Ka-ching!
Gross.
Oh, what? But that was the only like I didn't like that about the game. I just it totally took me away from it because.
And you have to play it that way?
Yeah, well, you don't have to. You can play it regularly with the controller.
No, but I mean, you have to play it when you're doing Kinect. You have to play it with facing the camera,
Yep. Or it won't.
and then turning to the side.
Yeah,
or like you're swinging
so
to the side.
your head's down.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm totally out of it.
Yeah.
Because then I'm doing the motion and everything, and then I look up.
But you're looking straight.
But you're not. It's weird.
It's disorienting.
It is.
I think my guess is they probably went for actually a higher level of interactivity than the Kinect Sports, where Kinect Sports would just be kind of you swinging your arm and rotating a little bit, whereas this probably factors in things like your body movement and your shoulder position and your follow through and
So it
stuff
needs
like
to see
that.
it full on.
Exactly.
And that's what I would like to see, and that's what I thought maybe why it is, but it doesn't. Like, there's times where it doesn't register me swinging, and it's just I don't get it. I don't understand it, and then
Maybe you should golf better.
that's true. But then
My recommendation would be not playing it.
it does have the voice activated controls and
Yeah.
things like that.
Can
which
you go
is
swing?
nice. Yeah,
Hole in one.
hit it for me.
Kinect hole in one.
Kinect, hole in one.
But Xbox hole in one.
There you
Sweet.
go.
I
Oh,
win.
yeah, sorry.
I win.
Yeah.
But that was the only because whenever you try to use your hands, might as well just stopped right there. The menus for it were bad. It's just it feels like a controller based game, and they just added the Kinect to it. It's really weird. It didn't register me. I had to like wave at the Kinect and just like wave at it, and then it was like it flip flopped, and it was like it went from regular control to Kinect, and then went back a couple different times, and
And you usually don't have any problems, so I would imagine it would be terrible for me.
Yeah,
because I
it
usually
would.
have lots of problems.
yeah, but I had this big
Some of
excitement
them are
for
with
it.
your Kinect.
Right.
I had a huge excitement for the game, and it just didn't. For the golf aspect, the Kinect golf, because I had fun with that.
yeah,
I like that
on
aspect.
the sports. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know.
But to be fair, it is like you're holding your wang, so maybe I'd be awesome at it.
Yeah.
You do have a lot of experience.
But it is
Right now.
it is a free demo, and it will take up space. But
Yeah.
I'd advise if you're gonna play with the controller.
Did you try it with the controller? Or
No,
you
because
just
I have
wanted
no like.
You only want to see how the Kinect stuff works.
I don't want to play a golf game. Not like with a controller, because then you have to like figure out like. No, that's stupid.
We should have you write reviews. Fuck that. And then that'd be your closing line.
My review. I can't believe you
Shonix.
guys have me on the show sometimes when I
can't
talk
either.
about games.
I
Everybody's
don't
like,
know.
"What was that game about?" He just mentioned it. He was like, "That's a lot of fun. You jump around and then you shoot something and 80 points."
I don't know what it was,
that
but
the
he got
Tiger
a
Woods
kick
game?
out of it.
Close enough.
Well, now I'm gonna get it.
All right. Well, I'm staying away from that. I was going to before, but now,
Now
I'm
I'm
really.
staying away.
Now I'm going to actively go on a smear campaign against it. Before I was just not going to play. Now I can't wait to badmouth it all over.
But he did share the cover with someone else. I would say the name, but I don't know golfers. The only reason I know Tiger Woods is because it's Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
And
Timothy McBurdy.
I don't think that's a real guy.
What?
Is that like a Muppet? All right. So are we going on to disc games? Is that where we're at?
Sounds good.
Keeping this train moving on,
yes.
even though it's already gone off the tracks 3 times.
So many times.
Off
This
the
is the
rails.
scenic route
That's what it does.
of an episode.
What can you do? You going to tell us about your sex simulator?
My sixth fist
Sex simulator?
fighter.
Six-handed sex simulator.
Oh my God!
I want
Give it a
2 of
rest.
those.
Asura's Wrath from Capcom and CyberConnect 2. This is a game that I've been excited about for a while, seeing the videos, and then Sean and I, we tried out the demo. What was it, like about a month ago or something already?
Still on my hard drive.
Yeah.
I played the demo too.
No, did you?
Yeah.
Did you ever talk about it?
I think so. Oh no, maybe I didn't play it until after you guys talked
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it. That's right.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to see this game, and then I played it. It was fucking weird.
So basically, the game is this great mixture of like Asian mythology and religions and stuff like that mixed into like this sci-fi bent, and then given like this crazy epic destroy everything punching with power levels storyline, and the whole thing plays out is framed basically as an anime series, because everything is set into episodes. The episodes are fairly equal in length.
Nice.
At the beginning, you start up, and then there's like a little bit of credits going over the top as to who was the animation director for this episode and all of that. And there's tons and tons of cutscenes going on in there.
That's cool.
But it's all very heavy story elements. And then there's lots of QuickTime stuff in the middle of it as well. And you can skip over a lot of cutscenes if you're sick of it. But I'd recommend not to doing it. If you're skipping over the cutscenes, you probably shouldn't be playing Asura's Wrath.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And you certainly
Because you're
wouldn't,
kind of missing something.
and
there.
you wouldn't want the story to be confusing.
It's actually not very confusing.
Oh, okay,
it's pretty
good.
straightforward.
Good.
It moves along.
I get worried about those things.
No, it's
these kind of games.
No, I mean, and I do enjoy a lot of animated series, and a lot of them do come off as very confusing
That's what I'm saying.
and convoluted. This one makes a lot of sense.
Look at me projecting my prejudice onto this game, and then you're like, no, it does make sense. So I've learned something today.
There you go. The more you know.
Now get to the sex part. Not joking. I'm sorry.
And so Asura is at the beginning, he's one of the 8 demigod generals who are protecting the Earth from the Goma, which are basically the evil things. It's basically good guys and evil guys. It's pretty simple.
Novel. Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward.
Novel concept.
And the Goma all look like animals, but they're all kind of red and veiny and stuff like that.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so you're one of the 8 generals. And then you're fighting against the Goma, and you fight against their big mother Vlitra, who comes out of the earth itself. And then you guys win, and you're protecting the Emperor. And Asura's daughter is Mithra, and she's kind of the high priestess. She kind of leads everybody in prayer so that they can kind of supercharge the demigods. And but then shit goes down. I don't want to spoil a lot of things because it's very story influenced.
Yeah, that's cool.
Shit goes down. Asura gets blamed, and then they kind of off him. And then he
I bet he was framed.
I just said he was.
You said he was blamed.
No, you said he's framed.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard
Thanks
blamed.
for listening.
I'm barely even here.
And so
I'm just waiting for the part with boobs.
you're thinking about Mass Effect 3 over there.
Literally, I was. It's not even a joke.
So he gets offed, and then he wakes up 12,000 years later.
Nice.
Okay.
And everything's changed, and the 7 remaining generals have kind of taken over as the 7 deities now, and they've kidnapped Asura's daughter, and so this fuels his rage, and thus his wrath.
Nice.
And basically, the rest of it is Asura tries to be nice, and then he gets pissed off about things, and then he punches them till they explode, and that's basically a large part of the game.
That's cool.
And so, like I said, there's a lot of QuickTime elements mixed in with the cutscenes. I do recommend not playing the game when you're tired, however, because... No, it's simply because if you're tired, you might not be paying close attention, and there's a lot of long cutscene sections. Yeah, exactly. And it's not going to ruin you. Basically, the QuickTimes influence your score at the end. Now, there are some that can continue on to other like basically you enter into a fight, and so if you fuck up one of them, then the fight ends there. or if you succeed, then you have like several more QuickTime things to do. But overall, they all kind of end up in the same place. So it's not terrible if you're really bad at QuickTime events or if you do doze off for a second or two. And then there are also other.
I thought you were going to be like, don't play when you're tired because your fucked up dreams will just haunt you for like the whole next day.
Punching things with 6 fists, screaming a lot. Then
it's like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of scenario.
Exactly. But then there are also areas where you're fighting enemies. And we talked about when we played the demo, because there was some speculation, is this just boss fights?
Yeah.
Against boss fights? There are areas where you fight against like smaller scrub guys. But they're largely the same, and usually the goal is to keep punching things and do it in a stylistic way until you build up your burst meter, and then pull the right trigger for burst, and then usually your character will move on to the next, main objective.
Yeah.
Okay. So combat-wise, it's fairly one-noted. It's spam the B button for combos, use the Y button for special or powerful attacks, but then that has to recharge. You have to cool down. And then, you can also do counters and things like that, and you can dodge using the right bumper button. There's definitely some sophistication if you want to put some effort into it, but you can just get away with a lot of spamming. You're going to get shit scores at the end of the episodes.
Yeah,
right. But you could get away with that if you wanted to. So there are probably going to be people who criticize it for that. But, and then you go to and then there's like a fake commercial break like there was in the demo where they showed the little bumpers. There's no commercials though, but then you come back immediately and then you finish out the episode and then
they really should have done commercials.
And hey.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And then
I'm overstepping.
And then you get your score.
Yeah.
And then you can choose to go on. And then there's like a little epilogue, which is done with like these. Basically, it's an illustration, and then you can read dialogue, and it adds a little story to what's going on. And then once you finish that, then it's scenes from next episode.
Nice.
And it's done with like a narrator, and it's clipping things together, and it was pretty effective.
That's cool.
And so it's got this overall TV show feel, and I was treating it a lot like a TV show. I'm like, oh, I'll play an episode today.
Right.
And then I'm like, I gotta play one more episode because I need to find out what's gonna happen here. It'll leave me on a cliffhanger or something. I'm like, I gotta go on.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so that was a lot of fun. Basically, if you're one of those people who are like, Japanese animated shows, fuck them. You probably should stay away from the game because that's largely what it is.
I know, but this isn't.
It is more interactive.
Yeah, exactly. And then what I was going to ask you, and this is a spoiler, but is there an episode where you're charging up the whole entire time?
Where you're charging up the whole entire time? What do you mean?
All I think of
like all fighting
is like you're just sitting there charging up.
No. This isn't Dragon Ball Z where you'll spend an entire episode just standing at each other. Yes.
Yeah.
No. This. There's always something happening.
Okay, good. I was like,
when we
talk anime and like that.
They should have done that in the middle, though. There's just one episode where all you're doing is like for an hour, you're just building up.
There are some episodes where if it does feel like they kind of tacked on a place where you run around and punch things, because this is finally getting to the episode Jeremy wanted to talk about. There's like an episode like in this hot springs.
Oh yeah,
where you have these sexy attendants, and so you're talking to like your friend, mentor, enemy dude who also wants to kill you on the moon, and he's kind of like, we need to enjoy ourselves before we battle and all of that, and then he basically have like this flashback, and then it's like, oh, remember how it used to be, and then Asura's like, yeah, I remember, and then you go fight some Goma, and then it ends, and then you're back in the pool. I'm like, well, that didn't feel, but then I'm like, that's probably because otherwise I would just kind of sit in this pool and drink alcohol and stare at boobs.
Yeah.
Which are achievements.
Nice.
Oh man,
see, that's what I'm talking about.
Playing this game twice.
That's what I said.
3 times.
It does encourage, if you are going to go for the achievements, plan on playing it at least a half a dozen times. Probably.
Oh my!
Wow.
Because
nice.
you can replay
like
particular episodes, but there are some achievements tied to, because you can also unlock art and movies and those things, but also new gauges at the top which measure your wrath and your rage and all that, and your health. And each gauge has different abilities, and then there are a couple achievements tied to particular gauges. One is called the Blind Master gauge, and so basically there's no gauge on the screen, like everything is hidden, and so it feels more like you're watching an actual television show. And if you
neat.
complete all episodes using that, then you unlock a really awesome gauge. And then there's one, the mortal gauge, where you have a lot less health and it hurts a lot more, where you have to go through every episode. But then you unlock one basically where your unlimited meter is like always full, and so you can totally kick ass.
See, that's kind of I like that aspect to it. Is just opening up the game and changing up, like, you know, the episode essentially, and making, you know, blowing things up.
Yeah.
And from the demo,
It's totally over the top.
Yeah.
If you're in for some crazy action and stupid shit happening every 2 minutes, it's definitely your kind of game.
It seems like everything I like out of like anime type TV shows without the other stuff.
Yeah,
What was the
without the padding.
Yeah.
What was the overall length? Do you remember? Was it?
I don't know. People were saying
it
it's
like
about
episodes?
people were saying it's about a 6-hour
Okay.
game, but I don't know if people were skipping through cutscenes.
How many episodes are there?
There are 18 or so.
Oh, okay.
And they played
Maybe
out
about a half hour?
They played out about 20 minutes to a half hour for each episode.
That's awesome.
So, you know, there was quite a bit there.
Yeah.
It also depends on how good you are at beating things.
Right.
Bosses and
You just keep doing it
giant
until
elephants.
you get it.
Yeah, and you do have to be careful sometimes, because when you pull the burst meter, sometimes if it's like if the burst attack is going to be up close, then they'll have to run at them, and if they're too far away, they'll kind of stop, and then you only lose a little bit of your burst meter, and then you have to build that back up. But it is something to watch out for.
I had to redo it a couple times.
Yeah, but I've already played through it once, replayed several episodes, and I'm most of the way through a second playthrough already.
Cool.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it some more. It's
So
quite
am
a bit
I.
of fun.
I'm gonna steal it from you. at
Well,
some
I
point.
will loan it out to you guys.
No, I'm gonna steal it from you. I don't need you to loan it.
You can loan it. I'll give it back. First dibs.
Loan it to Sean. Well, I'm gonna be gone
Oh,
And he's going to be knee deep in Mass Effect for
at least 3 more days.
yeah.
At the rate I'm going.
nice.
I gotta get that beat before I leave.
That's what she
It's
said.
good to have goals.
It does. That is my goal. I might take a day off work.
It's your bucket list.
Extra vacation day.
Jesus.
Gotta get ready to go.
Pre-vacation.
That makes
vacation.
sense.
Ready to go means not packing, but playing Mass Effect for 12 hours.
Oh.
Are you good with Azura's Wrath?
Yeah.
Should we talk about some Mass Effect?
Yeah. There is some DLC coming down the road.
Nice.
Oh, I was going to ask about
Very
that because
cool.
it sounds like it's kind of thing where it'd be set up for DLC.
One
Like, just do new
one is a
episodes.
fully animated, like more like a actual animated TV show episode from what I've seen, and another one is involves Ryu from Street Fighter, and you fight in a Street Fighter like way from the screenshots that I've seen. I put a link
See.
up to it on the pages. What are you playing? I believe or something.
Cool.
Awesome. That stuff's really cool. I
On
like
our
that.
forums.
No.
Yeah,
You should check out our forums, everybody.
I did. Oh,
That's like a plug forum.
yeah.
I know. Till you drew attention to it.
Plug forum.
They need help. I don't know if you've
forum.
seen all of our people that listen to the show.
Forum.
I haven't seen any of them.
They look like us, so you can imagine. You can imagine the help they need.
Sizzling hot.
And they've already made the decision.
Now,
to-
unfortunately, I'm picturing them playing golf.
They've already, in a way, they've already made the decision to listen to us, so we know that they're not the best decision
something wrong.
makers. Yeah, something's loose.
Oh, love it.
We love you guys.
Yes.
Well, not you, but most of you. Anyway, Mass Effect 3.
Someone just went, oh.
We both played it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We mean.
And you had
me.
played the demo, right, Craig? So
Yeah,
you at least know how the game is styled this time around. I love it, sort of.
I like
The
it.
end.
I love sections of it. I love it a lot more now today. I initially had a bad reaction to it.
Okay.
It's kind of like eating shellfish, like when you're allergic, I would assume, where I had some like swelling.
So you're saying you knew you were going to hate, or playing Mass Effect 3 was going to be bad to you for you going into it?
Maybe it's like you didn't know you had a shellfish
Oh, okay.
allergy.
There
So
you
you're
go.
like, oh,
Yeah.
these taste so awesome.
Right.
And then
So
it's
then
like,
you died.
You get it and it's great. And then you like swell up and you're like, oh, this is terrible.
like,
but then
why is
afterwards
my
you're like, those
throat closed?
tasted really good.
I'm going to do that again.
I went in. I think my problem is we talked about when you guys talked about the demo. I avoided everything going in.
Yeah.
So I really didn't know what what the story was picking up at. I didn't know what changes they had made. I was going in kind of blind.
And then you were surprised when it was Dance Dance Revolution.
Right.
Yeah.
It was all RTS
Yeah.
and tower defense.
Yes.
I'm glad to say both of those elements are not in the game.
Nice.
Surprisingly, with the way that they do sequels nowadays, they just throw those elements in. I was a little taken aback by the narrative change because you do start the game and it's 6 months later than 2. And so here's my thing. I played 2. I finished 2.
Sure.
2 is still one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
I loved what they did with 2. I loved going on the, building up your squad, getting to know your other characters, and like, building a relationship with the people. And especially you get them on your team and then you go do personal missions for them. You played 2, right?
Yeah.
So, well, I couldn't remember. I thought so, but
no, I own it.
So, going out and doing those things with those people and like building that, and then you get to the end of that game and you're like, that's right, we're gonna fuck those things up. Let's go, all of us. And then you start this game and it's like 6 months later, Shepard's on Earth, and everybody's like just around doing other things, and you're like, wait, I thought we were all gonna kick some ass. Now I see the big guys that we gotta fight, but now I gotta go back and build up again. I don't understand. So I was really like disappointed at the beginning, and so I think that didn't help me when I started the game out.
You were disappointed to find out you're as bad at keeping friends in video life as
Exactly.
you are in real life.
Exactly. I'm like, I play this video game so I can pretend I had these. I'm a badass. Come on.
Your virtual shepherd didn't return emails.
They fear / respect me. Why can't they?
He got a little.
Where are they at?
He got a little annoyed at them kind of forwarding things a little too much, so he stopped replying to their invites.
Initially, my narrative reaction was, well, this is a little different than I wanted it to be. I was kind of really just geared up for this whole big battle with my crew, and now my crew's like dispersed all around the universe. And so I guess maybe, and as I've experienced it, that was in the first couple of hours. I'm now up to like, I don't know, 15 or 16 hours. I've really come around on the narrative. I love what it's doing as far as story-wise. Obviously, that's still been able to draw me in.
Yeah.
It's a much different experience this time around, where before with 2 it felt like a personal experience where you're dealing with these guys on a personal level, and now like the scale is just so much more increased as far as
cosmic level.
It is. Shepard's having to be like totally like political about stuff.
Ooh.
And I really like
Nice.
that. I thought
filibustering.
It's been awesome.
Which button do you press to filibuster?
The power button, I think.
Is that one of your dialogue options?
It should be. He just sits there and argues with them for 3 hours. And there's an achievement if you can keep it going. If you can just keep it going.
running off the old engine for the elevators from
But
1.
in 1 and 2 it seemed like there was decisions where you could make that you definitely were doing it to like, well, I don't want to piss this guy off. You know what I mean? And now it seems like you have these
like telling every shop owner that you love them the most.
Right, exactly. When I'm on the quad, this is my shop. I'm Commander Shepard. But now you're like dealing with, and it's also been the culmination of the story from 1 and 2 and decisions that you've made.
Right.
And like, so now you're faced with, okay, this is the kind of stuff that we've been dealing with for two games now. We're in the 3rd game, and it kind of has a finite feel to it where it's wrapping up, which is nice, because I like some of these storylines are kind of ending, and you're like, and it's getting to the point now where the 2 people are fighting, and Shepard's basically like, look, we're getting fucked. So you guys both need to shut up and work together.
Yeah.
And so that's how my Shepard is political. He's like, everybody shut up and do what we're supposed to do. So I'm enjoying that aspect of the narrative, and I've kind of gotten into the mindset now that that's how the game's going to be.
Right.
It's just a much different thing. And, initially when I was like, well, it was a lot more fun to run around and pick up people and learn new characters.
Yeah.
And now the focus is on war assets and I don't know if they had that in the demo too much, or if that was maybe too in-depth.
No.
Well, we didn't play the multiplayer. And I hear that playing the multiplayer does help build that up, right?
Yeah, it builds up a portion of that. There's like a percentage readiness, like a battle readiness that you have, and that's a separate section. But there is also war assets that you're building up, and that's by doing favors for people or getting on the, helping them out, doing side missions that will give you.
I was about to say, it sounds like it's a side quest meter.
It kind of is, but it's also based on regular story mission stuff too, because it's like if you help out this, well, those people are now alive, so they're in the war effort for you.
Does this kind of nerf the option to really be a dick in the game?
No.
The way you're describing it sounds like you have to play nice. A lot.
I am noticing that you probably... the thing is, it's not always the nice decision that gets the help.
Okay.
And it could be necessarily... Or like there's a...
Because a nice decision for one person may be a dick move to another.
Exactly. And maybe the person you're a dick to is the one that actually had the force or the power.
Right.
And so the person that you're... they were nice to, they're just some dude. Who's like, oh, thanks for having my back, Shepard. And you're like, wait, you didn't give me anything? And then you can't punch the guy out like I want to.
Here's a coupon from my store.
Exactly. I've been able to be a dick for the most part.
Oh, good.
My Shepard is a dick usually.
Yeah.
Well, except to the chicks that he wants to bang.
Right.
If he wants you to come up to the captain's cabin, the stabbing cabin that he has, then I don't term it that. I just did that now on the fly.
Asura's wrath.
You're welcome. When he's nice to those ladies all the time.
Oh yeah.
Then he's like all sweet and caring. I was even nice to the guy you can be gay with, so. Because I want to see how
you like all the options.
I want to see where that's going. I don't want to cut myself off. Maybe those ladies will get mad at me.
Maybe they got something.
It's lonely in space.
Maybe they got diabetes.
It's lonely in space.
All he's got in his room are fish. What's that going to do? Come on. He's got some ladies.
That's
up
why
there.
I made mine a female.
I want to replay the game as a female. Just because I've, played all three of them as the male shepherd. And I think it would be interesting to at least have a different voice through them. But I would like to see... I'm really curious about some of the decisions I've made back in 1 and 2 that are pretty drastic, and I have no idea what would be happening in my game right now if I made the opposite decision. Because they've been pretty big, significant chunks of like this mission that I was on, and if I wouldn't have had that, what would be in that place, or would it, what would be different? That tailoring of that game to a like specific experience is amazing to me still. Wow. I can't believe how they do, and I wonder how transparent it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would remember what I did in the first 2 games.
That's my biggest worry. I went through and read.
I mean, in 2, there was a certain point where it was very blatant that this is connected to your decision that you made in 1. But
I think that it's mainly a lot more the bigger events.
Yeah.
So it's things that you definitely had a yes or no decision that maybe you struggled with.
Yeah.
So there's only like a couple that are really key. But there are some minor things that I didn't remember, but you'll get things like, oh, I was this person and you saved me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Okay. I think they did that in 2 as well.
Yeah, so that stuff is like...
remind you.
Exactly. Like, hey, I was this person and you saved me here at this time and you did this and here's a screenshot. No, they don't do that.
This is where you signed my yearbook.
It was December 12th, 2009. Maybe you remember. I don't.
At 3:14 p.m.
I don't, Nancy. Thanks, though.
Nancy.
I'm glad that you lived.
You signed my cast.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. Yeah, then I went off to go fight 20 billion dudes. So that was a pretty small change for
Look,
me.
I don't got time for that now. I'm glad your family's doing fine. By the way, Earth's getting fucked. Gotta go. Love, Shep. That's all my messages. So, I've talked about it a bunch. What do you think, Sean?
I've enjoyed what I've played so far.
Because you're coming in not playing 1, or
Well, I
a
played
little bit of 1 and 2.
and it was nice to return to the Citadel after
After not escaping it from 1?
I escaped it though. No, see, that was the thing. I escaped it, and I went on my first little mission where I was like doing my ping for like minerals or bullshit like that. And I was like,
Are you talking about 2 or 1?
I think he's talking about 1 when he landed on a planet.
Yes.
Okay.
One of those.
Okay.
But this one, really,
the rover.
What
the hell was it?
Yeah,
Mako.
Mako.
Yeah, the Mako.
Fuck yeah.
Mako.
Well, in 2, you had to do the mining of the planets, and everybody complained about
They
that.
played Grindcast,
Which I wish it was back.
Yeah. That grindcast. Fuck 'em.
Anyway,
But so I enjoyed it. It pulled me in. And what pulled me in was the cutscenes and just the presentation and the visuals. Are very they're very crisp.
it looks amazing.
I love I think the voice acting. Everything that everybody talks about the Mass Effect games are in this one.
The action's intense this time around. I mean, it's like really crazy.
And I'm playing through the story. Just to get the story of it. So the fighting hasn't been too in my face.
Did they have the difficulty settings like they had in the demo?
Yeah, it's
okay. So you chose story.
Story over action and
Nice.
The regular
Where do you choose that? I
RPG.
didn't even see it.
Right at the very beginning when you're like choosing your character type thing.
Maybe I don't know if you're importing.
I
a character,
imported
you
from
might
2,
then
so it
have
wasn't even an
choice.
I
option.
picked female, and then it goes, and then the next
Okay.
one is your.
That makes sense.
Because they're like, you don't.
They're like you're not
We know
gonna,
what you
you're not gonna
want.
get all your awesome shit and then go easy.
We know what you want.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. So some of the the fighting hasn't been too intense for me, and I haven't really been dying too much. And I've had a lot of fun with it. I love doing the voice things and yelling at people. And,
I still didn't do any of the Kinect stuff.
I was doing a little bit of that, and
It's smooth, isn't it?
yeah, I really like that aspect of her. I'd be like, "Shut up," and then it just and she goes into her little spiel, and I like that aspect to it because. Especially when they start putting multiples up there.
Right.
I hate trying to pick them.
Move
into them. I'm just like, ugh. So it's like, I know it's lazy.
How lazy can you be?
I just said it. I'm lazy. But that aspect of it, I really enjoy of the game.
Yeah.
The fighting is good, and the story's good. I've liked what I don't. They're updating. I really like the fact that they're kind of walking you through it. You know, you get to meet these characters that you already knew, and they're kind of reminding you some things. So
and they load your codex with everything, so you can go in and read the stuff.
And the audio on that codex,
the main entries.
They have audio.
my
Well, the main ones always do.
So, see, and that's awesome.
And then the secondaries that have,
yeah.
you know, so that's like the high level overviews
Yeah.
or the important things, and then they have the secondary that has a ton of bullshit, and that's all you got to read.
Yeah, and I
I
like that aspect when the guy starts just talking, and I don't remember that from the first one. Maybe that was just maybe I didn't even look at it in the first one. I probably didn't even look at my maps or anything.
Because I think the main ones or the high level ones like that, the important ones, I think are all red.
Yeah.
And then they have a secondary one that's the one you have to read yourself.
Yeah. And
which you don't want to bother with.
And I liked all of that aspect to it too. It's like it didn't feel overwhelming. We were talking about the KOA or whatever that game is with the bad menus and how that is, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but the way it's presented, I really I can maneuver through it really easily, and it didn't feel cumbersome and ugh. And I got stuck in some of that stuff. Like I wasn't playing the game, I was listening to the guy talk. I'm like,
right.
Oh, this is awesome. But then when I went back to playing and you're meeting these other people, and I like this threat, and I like that it's you're this Earthling, but everybody else is like, well, it's the whole universe. It's not all about Earth, you fuckers.
Right.
Like, I like that aspect, and I really like that them being like, you need to go out and pick up some people, and hey, take the Normandy, and I thought it was really cool about it.
I like that aspect too, because it gets into some of that in the narrative later, where people are like, well, what about my people, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, Earth's having the same shit go down, so you need to buck up and help me out. Because we're all in this same thing, and I really like that aspect about it. Because my guy's a dick, like I said before, so he just gets to yell at people all the time about you're not special. We're all fucked here.
Yeah, and the thing too, the only thing I didn't like about it is you have all this intel about you being a past that specter, and people are a little looking down at you for it, and they're kind of they don't trust you type of thing.
Well, it's actually what it is, and. It's not because you're a Spectre. It's because of the Cerebus thing from Mass Effect 2.
And that was I couldn't think of the other one.
Because Cerebus is kind of the main enemy this time around that you're dealing with.
And I like that, the characters you come across are having little, people that you're meeting don't want to hang out with you. And they have this kind of apprehension to you. And, I like the fact there's one point you had to beat up a guy, just knock some sense into him, just to calm him down and be like, shut up, I'm here this is why I'm here.
I'm not Cerberus anymore.
Yeah, I thought that I like that little aspect to it, and it's a huge story, and it actually kind of makes me want to go back, but I never will. I know better.
You really should do too. I think you would like to.
Why doesn't someone just write
Play
it all
for me?
Make it a comic book for me?
Well, no, but I mean, it's not just the story.
I know.
It is the story, but it had the same kind of gameplay. They didn't really change too much gameplay-wise outside of the mining of the planets, which everybody hated from 2, which I didn't have a problem with. I liked it. Yeah. I hate what they've done this time around. I do have some issues with the game. It's not 100% love fest like I was expecting. So that, that didn't help in my initial reaction to the narrative, because I was also hating some other aspects of how the game was just design choices that were made, and one of those is finding things around the planets, and before you go in and search for the planet or search the planet, you could find things to places to land or items or the minerals that you would get for mining. Now you're going into systems and you send out this ping with your left trigger, and it kind of does a little ping around your area, and something will show up if there's something that can be found, which is usually fuel. Which is extremely exciting. Or once in a while, you'll find a planet that actually has something you can search for.
Just a gas station on the whole
It's just this cluster of stuff, and you find fuel out of it. And then the other thing is you'll find planets that you can actually search stuff for. But when you go in there, you just basically have a radar, and you find where the spot's at. You hit your R trigger to send out a tracking probe or whatever, and then you get the item, which is usually just a war asset or a thing to find for a secondary mission.
I'll be honest, I'm not surprised by that, because BioWare's been really responsive to things that people dislike, and I think the thing people were most vocal about for Mass Effect 2 was planet mining, similar to the way that people were bitching about the Mako from Mass Effect 1, and they really revamped
Well, then
that.
they deserve what they get, because now
I'm sure they might be happy with it.
No, because now, in addition to that, so you do your little ping thing. Well, the Reapers are all over the universe. So the Reapers are also like being drawn to your area if you do the ping too much.
I see.
Which is like twice. So if you're in a huge like big area and you have to like try and search for these things, what happens is if they're aware of your area, ships will come in. They do this like really loud like klaxon like sound where they all come in, and so like these 3 or 4
Feel
ships.
like you're watching Inception.
Exactly. And these 4 ships come in and they'll chase you. And if you don't leave the solar system or like the little planet area you're in, and they catch you, it's game over. And you have to like resume from your last save or whatever. So you leave, and then if you go right back in,
this is why you need fuel all the time.
if you go right back in, they're still there. They're coming. They're going to be coming into that area until you complete a new mission. Like you go and do a mission and complete it. So basically you can go around and look for them. So I'm just running in, going through real quick, doing my trigger to try and find a new spot, and do it real fast, and then get out of that area again. Then go back into it again, have the sound every time you go in, this big-ass sound. And so I'm doing that, and it's super annoying. It's so lame. I hate it. I still hate that aspect of it. You know, it's not so bad now because I've done it. I spent a lot of time doing it on most of the areas to get them cleared out. But it was annoying when I was doing it, and I really hate that change. I also think that it's really poorly set up for like mission structure as far as knowing what you have and what you don't have. And that might have been for Mass Effect 2. I can't remember, because you have lots of side. Well, you have lots of side missions or side quests. So they're like, and I also hate how you get side quests because it was very interactive. Like you was driven by interacting with characters before. Yeah. And now it's basically you walk around the Citadel and you overhear conversations and it adds a side quest.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So you walk by, a dude, and there's like 2 people talking like, "Oh, I wish I had these things," and then it's like a quick thing that pops up about getting schematics for heat sensor things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, half the time,
how creepy is Commander Shepard's like, hey,
he's just
I heard through the grapevine that you kind of wanted these prophylactics.
He's gross.
Here you go.
He just is a creeper now. All he does is walk around the Citadel and is like, "Hey, I couldn't help but mention that you needed these, this med gel, so I went and got it for you on this planet." And they're like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
We appreciate it, but
is there like a weirdness meter that is increasing? How many people shun Commander Shepard?
Do that around.
It's a weird guy.
When spring breaks over, do that around the campus and see what happens. See how many like police get notified. Hey, I heard you didn't have this book, so I went and got it for you. When did you hear that? Well, you were on your phone. I don't know. I just walked by the other day and.
How'd you find me again?
Exactly. Well, I took notes, and so I knew. But no, so you walk by and it's just a random conversation. So the problem with that is sometimes I'll stop. You'll see, if you see a group of people, you go up and stay and wait for them to hear the conversation. Exactly, and you're just standing there. But sometimes you hear it in passing and it adds it real quick, and I have no context to where that came from. So I can go into my mission thing and look at it.
Oh, I see.
And so I can go into my mission status and see. So-and-so, or, this person said that they need this, deliver it to them here. But you don't know who that person is, and you have just a generic area in the Citadel.
Doesn't really matter, you're not interacting with them.
I know, but when you take it back to them, they give you a general area in the Citadel, and there's hundreds of people all around. So you have to go find the one person that needed it, and I don't remember because I just randomly walked by somebody, and it added the quest. And then there's some that I think get locked out at certain points that you can't now go get them. And so what those are doing is just really adding war assets. If you're helping them out, they're adding like their support, or you're getting...
Joe Bob on the corner is a great, valuable war asset.
Well, no, you gave him those heat sensors, so now the people that, he's got the support of his people that are now able to help you better.
I gave that one guy a bomb, so the people that he blew up now can't help me.
Exactly. That's what it should do. They should have ones that are bad.
Minus.
You're just, because you're just like eavesdropping on everybody, and you're like, well, obviously it's a good idea to help this person out.
Yeah, they could be a dick.
Or a psycho.
Maybe
you give him a gun and then they'll turn it on and shoot you.
Maybe Shepard, he's a Spectre. Maybe he's just awesome on the fly of like knowing people,
assessing them.
Yes,
he only hears the.
So
people
we only
who
hear
are
the good ones. That's right.
His brain filters the rest out.
So that's just a little odd.
Yeah.
And it's like I sat down last night and I cleared out a bunch of my missions, so I didn't have any more. And I'm like, I'm going to play a quick half hour before I go to bed.
I bet it's because people got tired of walking up and talking to people and
it
entering conversations.
Because it is a lot more passive.
Because now you don't have to make decisions and get through a bunch of other crap.
Oh, I don't want to hear you talk. Just give me my mission.
Yeah.
And that's what they do now. You literally don't have to hear them talk. They just give you your mission. But I'm like, I'll just run around the Citadel here quick. I don't really have any missions that I can do right now. And I played for 20 minutes and I had 12 new missions.
Weird.
That were all side missions. Me just walking around 2 sections of the 5 available at the Citadel.
Weird.
Ridiculous. But it's awesome.
I was
But
wondering
I'm like,
about
I
that.
got to go to bed. Come on.
Yeah, because when I
go do all these.
I had passed like just people talking,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "There's got to be a reason why I can overhear what they're talking about." And then,
Some of them
next
don't.
thing you know, there was a mission, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
Some of them are just having conversations.
Yeah.
The same conversations over and over.
The only
But-
thing I need
What
from
do you
these games is to have someone just set up things for me and then hand me the controller and go, okay, here, you were at the planet that you need to be at. This is the mission that is a priority. Let's get on it. And I play it, and then they can just do it again. Because that's where I find that I'm going to have the hardest true problem
Yeah.
completing the game, because I've been sticking to priority. As long as it says priority, that's what I'm sticking to.
And see, there's
I just wanted to see
the other problem I
story,
have with the
so.
side quests is that they tell you general like idea of, okay, this person wants this thing,
Yeah.
but they don't tell you where to get that thing. So you have to stumble across it at some point. And me, I want to be able to go search it out and go get it and
Yeah.
bring it back to them. And I can't do that because I can't remember. So there's multiple things that I've gotten, and you have no way to see that you have those things. So I don't know when I can go turn it back into the person, because like at one point I had
inventory.
no, because they're just like, you get this thing, but there's no way to see that you have this thing.
It doesn't check
and
off
it
the
doesn't,
missions or
and it
anything?
doesn't mark anything on your mission to let you know that you have a portion
That's
of it.
surprising.
It's annoying. It's a terrible design decision. Like, why
weird.
wouldn't you let me know that I've completed a portion of it so I know that it's turn-inable at this point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate that.
That's very strange, because like even like Dragon Age Origins, you know, they have sub quests, basically steps in your quest.
Yeah, exactly.
In the quest log, and
Yeah.
and so once you complete a part of it, then it moves on to the next part.
I really hate that it doesn't give you any kind of update. And
weird.
like I said, I have a problem with some of them being cut off if you go past a certain point, because there's also ones that can't be done until you go past a certain point. But I've gotten one at the beginning of the game that I couldn't do until I can do it now, I think. But I didn't know that. There's no way to know that. So I spent like an hour looking around all these different planets for this one I needed to find. Well, it's one I didn't have access to yet. But it tells you the planet name, not the system name. So I had to go into the systems and check all the planets. And it was just, there's so many things about it that if you want to drill down to that level, seem annoying to me and really not. I don't need hand holding.
I do.
I just thought, what if they had built in Kinect with Bing? And so then, as Commander
could
Shepard,
search.
you could be like,
Where do I get
Bing Xanax 3.
It's in this squad. That would have been brilliant promotion for them.
been hilarious.
Why didn't they do that?
I don't know.
You can go up to your captain's room and then be like, just Bing shit, so you can find out where, and that's how you update
That's
your.
how Commander Shepard does all his investigating. He's like, I'm going to go research this, and then he goes up to
And he
Bing.
bings it. And he's like, oh, and then he comes back down. He's like, I have a feeling it's in this segment.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're so smart, Shepard.
And then they're laughing in the corner because they changed the Wikipedia page that he just quoted.
Shepard, you know we all have internet access, right?
On our wrists.
You're quoting that from Wikipedia. You shut up and get in the hold, soldier.
And then you hear an airlock eject.
I'm a Spectre.
That's awesome. Being,
So yeah, and then a couple other problems I had. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but there was a problem with importing your character.
Yeah, I heard
if you
about that.
if you carried over from 1 to 2 to 2 to 3, it like changed some of the facial structure things. I hated that. That seems like a terrible screw up in my
weird.
opinion.
Yeah.
You
Again, I
played
probably wouldn't have noticed.
well, if you play with the standard guy, that's I could understand that.
No, but I mean, I probably wouldn't notice. I wouldn't have been like, that doesn't look like my guy.
No, they give you a notice saying they can't import it. So then it just
Oh.
defaults you to your default.
I see.
And so I had to
see.
completely,
Okay,
and I don't even want to admit how much time I spent reconstructing my guy. I loaded up 2, looked at the guy,
God.
rebuilt it.
Stop.
I
don't wanna
already
hear
said
this.
it. I said I wasn't
Stop.
going to admit it, and I did.
Wow.
I had to sit through the whole
Don't
opening
go
of
further.
2 to do it. Because they don't let you do it right away. You have to do the thing where you get whatever. And then you had to do it. But it was annoying. So I got him pretty close, but I think his brow is still a little jacked up. But he's pretty close.
That's awesome.
That's important.
Maybe he got in a fight between 2 and
That's
3.
really weird that they would put that in a game.
It sounds like
and
an
not-
issue. That
yeah.
and I've had some stuttering, like
weird.
graphical stuttering, once
Well,
in a while.
from what I've heard, it's it's what was needed to transition from 1 to 2. So they were probably practicing transitioning things that they created in 2 to 3. Because from what I understand, that still works okay.
2 to 3.
Yeah, not that there are a lot of people
Yeah,
who
it's-
only played.
It's
2.
only the problem is
Yeah.
1 to 2 and then 2
Yeah,
to 3
yeah,
with that same
exactly.
character
So-
from 1.
So it was.
But it seems like when a game is that driven on hey, stick with your same guy
Exactly.
and like carry everything over, that they would let something slip through the cracks that would not
Like,
like
make it-
at what
like,
point did
make
they
it
not
work.
notice that
Yeah.
1 to 2 to 2 to 3 didn't work?
Yeah.
They had to have known. They just didn't want to tell anybody, probably. I'm guessing.
Yes,
It's not like
they were
offered
covering it up.
Well, it's not like
This
they.
is a big Bioware conspiracy. They
not
knew
like-
all along.
Like I said, it's not like they're
They
going to
were-
offer that information.
They
though.
were sitting around Twitter the day that the game released.
This is
and they're
going to be
like,
awesome.
How long is it going to take? They're taking a pool. They're doing a pool.
They probably were, but probably with
They were
with
they were
much to
tracking
their
across
chagrin.
the globe too, so that it would hit at different points.
Motherfuckers! Midnight Eastern time zone. They're
It's
like,
all a big
son of a
conspiracy.
bitch.
We burst it open. Somebody call Nick Cage.
Can we also talk about another big problem? And that's this disc changing shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Because I don't understand why this was like the fix that they had for it. And I don't think I've ever recommended anybody playing a PS3 game over an Xbox version, but I would recommend the PS3 version if you don't have anything to carry over, because if you don't have to switch a disc, that would be awesome. Because I don't know whose decision it was to make all the priority missions on disc 1 and all the secondary missions on disc 2.
Oh.
So if you go back and forth at any point, I tried to do all the secondary ones as much as I can together,
Yeah.
because you have to switch disc 1 to 2. Right.
That's me saying no to
Now, there's a
secondary
ton
missions.
of shit. Here's the thing. It's not as bad as, because you can sit and play still for multiple hours, do
Sure.
some side missions, go to the Citadel. I think that's on both discs. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that's on both. But I think most of the secondary missions are only on 2. So those secondary missions, I would always have to switch out to the second disc. Now, I've been playing on the second disc for a long time. And I went through and played multiplayer, and I played that on the second disc. So,
Nice.
I mean, all that stuff is still contained. And, it's just a testament to how much like action and voice action and how maybe some in-depth some of those secondary missions are, that they had to put them on a second thing.
Yeah.
But I guess it's weird to me that was the only fix.
Could
that
it
they
also
could
be as sort of, because they have done some things to entice new players. I mean, they're not expecting everyone to have come through Mass Effect 1 and 2 for this, as with the difficulty settings, essentially.
Yeah.
So maybe that was to entice again the people who just want to blitz through it, for the story.
Maybe
and
that-
so they
yeah.
can stick to the main story.
Maybe,
Maybe,
and it might
yeah.
be, and maybe that's more if you're like you said, Sean. You're like,
Yeah.
I'm concerned with priority. I
Yeah.
think if
So
you
he could
concern
probably
yourself
play
with
the entire
priority, it
di-
would be on disc
one
one.
disc, yeah.
Until maybe you get to a certain point. I don't
Sure,
know how it's
yeah.
balanced, but
Might be.
I know with 2 it was up to a certain point, and then it switched over to disc 2, and then that's where you played on. So it just seems odd to me the way that it's balanced.
Yeah.
And it's kind of annoying
Yeah.
to switch.
To have to switch.
I'm lazy
yeah.
to get up. We talked about before. I'm lazy to get up and don't want to get a headset. You think I want to get up and switch a disc every 2 hours on my game?
Yeah, Xbox is gonna have to go totally.
You want me to move
wireless.
from my couch every 2 hours? The fuck? I got like 8 hours to play.
See, your problem is you
not
just
moving.
need to arrange it so your Xbox is closer to you.
That's not good.
That's a lot of
I
wires.
can't do that.
And it makes that noise.
It's not gonna work. Did you play any multiplayer?
I didn't play any multiplayer because
I've
I
been
needed
hearing
a pass.
great things about it.
I needed
I played.
an online
I played
pass.
one night. I got to play with a couple of the guys from the forums.
Yep.
$8
Awesome.
and Snakehead Fish.
Yep.
And also the 2 guys from Two Headed Nerd
Ah.
were on. So
Rubber
all of us were
Sled.
playing. What's that?
Rubber Sled.
Yes.
I can't. I don't know. I'm sorry, Matt. I don't know your name.
Yeah, I can't remember
on
his
Xbox.
either.
He's probably not my friend anyway on Xbox.
Probably not your friend in general.
Probably.
In fact, we
I-
talked a lot of shit about you. In particular.
Awesome.
No.
Fuck those guys.
Don't worry. In 6 months, he won't be Jeremy's friend.
6 months. I'm pretty sure by the end of the night it was done. So it's a 4-player horde style kind of
Yeah.
kind of match where it's. I think you can set specifics, but we were playing on random, so it gives you a random map. It gives you random scenarios, so you get waves of enemies that are randomly generated. I think there's 3 different types. You have a Geth, you have like the creature-based ones, and I don't know what the third one is. But it intermixes some interesting things. It does just normal waves, but then every once in a while they'll do objective ones to throw in, and that's what you have to do for that round. So on some of the rounds you'll have to go maybe get this data port thing, and so you'll have to maintain this area, and that'll be what it is for that wave. And there's 10 waves, and then a extraction wave that's only like a minute and a half at the end. But some of the objective-based ones, they'll do like those things where you have to hold down an area, or you'll have to go to these 4 different points and deactivate this thing, or they have these 4 primary targets, and you have a certain time limit you have to kill them within, or you fail. So they intermix those randomly, and that kind of made everything fresh and exciting. So it's not just, another wave, another wave, another wave. It was something different to do and kept you moving around. I thought that was really fun. I really liked the it's really addictive, in my opinion, building your character up because you do get experience points,
Right.
and money. Mm-hmm. So you start at the base level with all the. You can choose the adept.
So it's kind of the
different kinds of characters.
Dead Rising 2 thing.
Kind of like that, yeah. And so you start at the base level. You do level up. You have your certain power that you can use. So you can put points into those and make those powers more powerful. But you can also spend then credits that you earn in the game on these packs that are like packs of cards.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. I didn't know that was in the game, right? So I'm playing that first night, and I'm like, wait, so are these like packs of cards? And everybody's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh, no. This is a terrible idea. So there's a base level. Oh, no. There's a base level pack that's like 5,000 credits.
Your starter deck.
Well, it gives you 5 cards or 5 things. And so the things that it gives you are new characters, which because you can start with human and female of each class, but then they also have 2 locked classes that are like some of the alien races, and they start at like level 3, and they got like different powers and abilities, but you have to unlock those by getting those in those packs. And so those are the ones to probably build up because they do different things and they're kind of awesome. You get different weapons in those packs, and you get other like things that are one-time use. So you can get like med gels that you save and you keep an inventory of, or like rocket launcher kind of like weapons, and you can use those at any time in a match, but they're limited use, so you basically stockpile those. And you also get these little boosts that you can use that they're one-time use, but they last for an entire round of the mode. So you use it that one time and it like up your armor, up your damage for your weapons, but it lasts only for that horde match or that whole wave set. So that's all interesting, and you get those in a pack. You get 5 packs, but there's a base level that's 5,000 credits, and it's guaranteed like 5 cards with a slight chance of getting an uncommon. See, now we're getting into terminology that's hurting me. And then there's like packs that are 10,000 or 20,000, and those guarantee you 1 uncommon, and then 4 other cards, or at least 1 uncommon. And then there's packs that are 60,000 credits, and those guarantee you a rare. And then 4 other things. But you can also buy those with real money.
Yeah.
And here's
microtransactions.
And here's where it sucks balls, kids. They are priced brilliantly and dangerously. Okay, so it's not like, a $5 pack.
Yeah.
The Spectre one, which is the 60,000 credits you have to buy with, is like $2. $2 is nothing,
That's
kids.
nice.
That's nothing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
The middle pack you can buy for $1. So I'm like, and it takes forever to get 60,000 credits. They do that shit on purpose. So I'm playing. We played like 4 rounds, and I'm like, it is going to take forever to get 60,000 credits.
I'm thinking about conspiracies for this disc changing or the importing stuff.
This is a conspiracy full blown, and it's brilliant. It is brilliant.
Yeah.
But they priced them like perfectly where it doesn't feel like it's much. You know what I mean? 160 points. That's not much. Just throw that in there. Look how long it's going to take you to get 60,000 credits. Come on. You know you want one of those Spectre packs? So I bought one. But I only bought one because I'm not going to buy any. Well, because it's so random, and it might be you might get things that you don't even use.
True, yeah.
So that helps me stave that off for now.
For now.
Until I want to maybe try my luck
so
again.
Far.
It's gambling.
It is.
So I'm going to now just
we all played
buy
HeroClix.
the cheaper. Yeah, exactly. We're going to buy the cheaper pack, or I'm going to use my credits on the cheaper ones and not worry about that Spectre one, because shut up. I hate how you're even looking at me. I can hear you.
Until one of your friends has this thing and they're like, yeah, I got it from a rare card.
Whatever. No, because the one I bought, I got like this awesome I got like a rare weapon or whatever, but it was like an SMG, and I don't use any of those. So it's like that was like sealing the deal, and then I instantly regretted my $2 purchase.
That's what I think that's a really neat aspect to the game.
It is.
It's the one thing I liked about Gotham Imposters, that they threw that into the mix.
Oh, that's right. And
so
I made fun of them. Right?
I know, and you could easily just, if you want to buy that gun, or if you want to buy that skin.
But I still have a problem with that because it's a versus scenario. This isn't versus. You're all just working together.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, then somebody can't spend a bunch of money and be better than me that I'm having to face.
Okay.
Well, because that guy spent like $100. Great.
Right.
Congratulations. That's why you can stomp me in 2 seconds. Also because I suck.
Exactly.
But that's how I would rationalize it in my head.
I know. That's why I'm waiting to hear the ball drop on this one.
That's it.
You paid how much and you got that card? That's fucking cheap.
But you're all working as a team, so it's not versus anybody. So that helps. It was a lot of fun. I think it's fun if you have people to play with.
It's a neat aspect. I think that's cool.
I liked it.
But I don't have a pass, so I'm not paying for a
Yeah,
pass.
you should have stolen the one other rental copy.
It didn't happen.
I said you should have stole it.
I know, but it didn't happen. I had the crew ready,
Oh,
and it just didn't work out.
that's too bad.
Yeah, they hit the silent alarm too soon. And I ditched out of there.
Whatever. So,
Robin Banks, yo.
I'm back into being in love with Mass Effect 3 after my initial tepid reaction to it. But
I'm enjoying
I
it.
really like the narrative that it's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm driven to now see where stuff's going to go. But I do still have some issues with some of the design choices just because there's just some questionable things. I don't get it.
Sure.
But like you
Yeah.
said, I think it adds to
Yes.
the passive experience. And I wanted less passive.
Right, and I do think a lot of it is response to actually complaints that they had
Yeah,
from 2.
that could be.
I would imagine.
I'm excited to see where it goes.
Because
wait.
Bioware's been making RPGs like this for a while.
Exactly.
I mean, it's not like they don't know what they're doing, and
Yeah.
so those kinds of decisions, especially to buck an old system for a new system, suggests that it was a change that they were responding to.
And I am seeing in the story wise, I am seeing some of my people that you dealt with in ME2.
Yeah.
Now, the more I got into it, up front you don't so much, because you got to build up some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that was my initial reaction, was I was missing some of those characters that I spent a bunch of time with, and so now I'm running into them. But I guess I still have a problem that they're regulated to like cameo appearances at some point.
Sure. Yeah.
Some of the people, because there's some people I want more of. Like I want a whole Jack game. Because Jack is awesome. I want a whole game where you just play her.
I just think of Jack, the robot from Gears.
No.
Darn it! I'd play a whole game with him though. He's cool.
They could be
flashlight.
Jack and Jack.
He's got a flashlight.
Maybe they
hang
could
out.
team up.
And he
And
got
then
into every
they do
door.
a quiz.
And then she
So
swears
you
that you
don't
don't
know
know.
Jack. John got it.
Oh, no.
You don't know
I
Jack.
hate both of you guys. All right,
I think
well,
everybody listening that hates both of both of me.
God.
all
anyway.
three of us.
It's been a grueling episode.
It has been. So by the next time we have our episode, I'll have finished it, and maybe I'll have some final thoughts.
Taking the Xbox
That's a
to
guarantee.
Belgium.
Well, no, we have 3 weeks, though.
Xbox.
Oh, wait, they don't know that at home. We got 3 weeks.
Well, yeah,
It'll
they
be
do
2 weeks to them.
beginning.
Yeah.
3 weeks for us.
Yep.
Extra time. I'm not taking the Xbox to Belgium, no.
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 Okay.
All right, is that it? We done?
That's it for
All right,
me.
signedinpodcast.com. That is our website. It links to our Facebook fan page, which is odd to say, fan page. They're not really fans. It's people that have clicked on the like button, though.
Thumbs up,
I wouldn't call them fans. Link to our Twitter. I'm on the Twitter at signedinpodcast. Where are you guys at?
At the pull list.
And Shonix.
Awesome.
1X.
1X. That's
This
all one
time.
word, Shonix with 1X.
Yes.
You should change it to that.
Hey.
And then everybody can only like respond to you and like at you with like yep or no, because your handle's so
I
long.
totally used up all the characters.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just
That's
said
a good idea. Will that work?
It's a great
though?
idea to have nobody talk to you.
Hey. I don't think they do anyway.
I wanted to tell you something, but I can't respond to you. I literally can't. Comments at Signed In Podcast. Oh, I'm sorry. On our website, you can also find links to our forums that we
Yes.
mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
we would love to have you over there.
Yeah.
And all of our past episodes and the other pseudo radio shows. Comments at signedinpodcast.com. That is our email address. You can email us. Hey, Belgian guy, I want to hear from you. Let me know what to do.
This is getting a little creepy
Well,
here.
I want him to let me know. It's our.
Hey,
We're gonna have a tweet up.
I called you before.
We're gonna have a tweet up out in Belgium. Me and the one guy from Belgium that listens to our show. No, but he should send me recommendations of what to do.
Ironically, you're going to go to the International House of Pancakes.
Yes, for the Belgian waffles.
They're called American waffles. They're actually
Are they? Wow, it's a good thing I knew that now.
you get it with American cheese on it.
All right, next episode. Apparently, we're going back like 12 years because there's a new Silent Hill coming out and a new Resident Evil coming out in the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to probably check both of those out, or try to.
I might check one.
You should check out Silent Hill.
No, I should
Your
not.
favorite.
No.
Downpour. Sounds like there's rain.
Ugh. Wet people in meat shirts?
Yes.
That's even better.
So it'll look shiny,
Ugh.
Glistening and horrific.
glistening with their mutated bodies.
Ugh.
And then Resident Evil Operation Raccoon
Yeah.
City or whatever that is coming out too. I don't know what else.
Ranger Rick.
Anything else? Ranger Rick, Rocket Raccoon.
Oh, Rocket Raccoon?
Yes, it's
That'd
all
be
raccoons.
awesome. If I could be Rocket Raccoon going through Raccoon City killing zombies, I would play I would buy that
would be
game.
pretty cool.
You buy it?
Yeah.
Minigun.
And Groot would show up and just start hammering them. Yeah, that'd be be awesome.
This is the wrong show for that.
I know.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
No, they do.
Oh, okay.
They're nerds out there, man.
All right, is that it?
I am Groot.
Thanks, everybody.
Later.
Bye.